Welcome to the Soul on Fire show, guys. I am so excited today. Thank you so much for being here on the live. Thank you for those who are watching the replay. I am so excited because my dear friend Amy is in my house with me. And so today we are going deep, deep, deep into the conscious level of consciousness. We're going to go deep into holistic healing. We're going to talk about all different programs of consciousness, all different levels of consciousness. And my dear friend Amy, who is the No BS sweetheart, and she is, gosh, oh my gosh, the list goes on. Amy, you're a licensed therapist, you're a drug and alcohol counselor, you're a hypnotherapist, you're
Do it all.
Welcome, guys. Thank you for being here on the show. Welcome to the Soul on Fire show. Amy, why don't you introduce yourself? I'm super excited to have you here today.
Yay. I'm so excited to be here. Hi, I'm Amy. Just like Noelle said, licensed therapist, worked with drug and alcohol, was licensed in that. Doing a lot of hypnotherapy. That's my favorite because that's where people really do get the results. And I just love playing in consciousness and the quantum and just being spiritual and all that, and holistic, all that goodness.
Well, it's so perfect because she's in town and she just moved. She lived in San Diego and she moved and she's one of my close friends. So we just literally were talking for an hour before we got on the show. And so today we were talking about things that happened in our lives, and just like both of us are holistic healers and we work in the holistic realm and we work with consciousness on a daily basis. And we were talking and we were saying so many things in our life, how it's so crazy how the universe speaks to us, right? So maybe talk about that and talk about how synchronicities and things happen in our lives. And it's because we just had an hour conversation about it, but maybe talk about how the universe and synchronicity and consciousness and everything really truly is all day, every day.
Oh yeah, it's always. I mean, as long as you're tapping in and you're listening. I mean, I think the biggest thing that I've been doing lately is muscle testing, and I just have to trust my body. And it's funny because I'm taking this these new ingredients, and then I'm asking my body, okay, well, how much do I want? Do I want 1/8 or 1/2, and I'm doing the muscle testing. But the interesting thing is I don't even need to do the muscle test immediately. Like, I already know it's a yes or a no. Muscle testing is just giving me that extra, like, knowing that that's happening.
So for our viewers that don't understand what muscle testing is, let's talk about what muscle testing, because that's a big deal, right? It's your inner guidance system speaking to you and saying we all have an intuitive guidance system. The mind-body connection is connecting to the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. And when you understand that at that level, that's when you dance with the universe, right? So what exactly is muscle testing? This is a key thing that I use with food. I use with products a lot to see if I'm in alignment with it or not. So maybe explain what it is to our viewers.
Yeah. So just like I said, like, my intuition already knows if it's a yes or a no, but I still like to muscle test to just be sure. So if you have someone else, it's the best way to muscle test. But if you don't, then my favorite way is you just interlock your thumb and finger and then your other thumb and finger, and then you're going to choose one. So I choose my right, which is going to be kind of like the slider. So this one stays closed and this is the slider. And so you ask, okay, my name is Amy. And then it's like strong, so it doesn't break. And then I say, okay, my name is Noelle. And then it breaks. Mm-hmm. So you can do that with anything, like you're saying, with food. You can ask, like, okay, does my body want to have rice today? No. Okay. Does my body want to have protein today? Yes. So it's like you can constantly do that. You can ask about people in your life. You can ask about what you're going to do today. You can ask for anything.
So let's go even deeper into that, and let's talk about your internal guidance system and how we truly do have this inner knowing, right? And I talk about that all the time, and we just talked about this for an hour, is that sometimes things are so clear, and I can talk to things with you and you see some clarity on me, but I can't see it. And sometimes I see clarity on you and you can't see it. And so why do we have blind spots when it comes to that consciousness? Because it's so important to understand, one, we have the internal guidance system, but two, when we're emotionally attached to something, there's blind spots also that we can't hear. So maybe talk about that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely when we're emotionally attached and when our head is coming in. So if we're feeling pulled or called to go this way and your head is like, no, that's not real. Your head's very in 3D, very much like this cannot happen. And it's just kind of keeping you stuck. Whereas your intuition is like, no, this can. And so that can get in the way. And then when you're emotionally attached, of course, it's like you already have a sway one way or the other if you have an emotional attachment to it. So the more that you can detach, or the more that you have a friend that knows you, that can see what's going on, or someone who you really trust and talk to that can help you, that's how you can get that answer to move you forward, as opposed to you being swayed by being emotional or your mind telling you this is not possible.
So both of us do mind hacking and both of us do energy hacking. You're a hypnotherapist and I'm a quantum energy trainer. And so let's talk about that. Let's talk about working in the quantum fields and because the mind, you start with the mind. And when both of us doing this amazing detox, and we're going to stay tuned, guys, because we're going to actually walk you through and show you how to do it. It's incredible. We feel incredible. We feel vibrant. I feel alive since I'm doing it. And that's the body part. But both of us are therapists and work in the mind with NLP as well as the quantum and the hypnotherapy. So what's the next step from taking care of your body? You start with your body and the food you're eating, the exercise and all of that, moving to the mind, getting past the ego into the consciousness. Well, let's talk about that, because that's a pocket that most people get stuck in. They get the mind where it's like, no, I want to be into the super spiritual realm, but the ego and the mind and the ego and the consciousness kind of have an internal battle a lot of the time, right?
Yeah. And I think it's because it's like our mind just wants to protect us, and our mind wants to keep us safe. So if our intuition or our dreams or whatever, and we're like, I want to go move to Bali right now, or something. I know you do, for sure. And then your mind's like, no, what about this? What about your house? What about rent? What about your kids? What about your family? What about, and then it comes in and it kind of like stifles your dreams. And so that's what I feel like the hardest part with the mind is the mind. It's not a bad thing. It wants to keep you safe and protected. And your intuition is like, no, go to Bali. There's something there for you. You don't know what it is, but you got to go. And your mind's like,
you just told me to go to Bali.
No, I think I just did. There's your answer from our earlier conversation.
I think so. So what are some key takeaways? Like, let's give our viewers some things that you do to work. We both eat really, really clean. We both exercise. We both tap into energies often. And so we're pretty high on the spectrum, right? So what are some basic things that people can do to get over the mind? The food thing, we're gonna talk about a detox in the next segment, but the mind piece, and then we'll move into the consciousness and understanding energy and moving through that.
I think the biggest thing is because, like I said, mind wants you to be safe and protected. And so the thing that I do is I say, okay, I know that this next step does not make you feel like you're safe and protected, but I do know that you're going to be, and this is why. And then I'll have a whole conversation. And so it's almost like letting my mind know that, no, this is going to be the right choice because why? And it's almost like having a conversation with a kid, is kind of like how you're treating your mind. It's like, okay, these are your fears, and I understand why these are your fears, but this is what I see can happen, and we will be safe and protected, and you, mind, are still going to do your job. You're still going to keep me protected and keep me safe, but we're going to go in this direction.
Wow, that's so cool. So I really do, and you know this, right? And as much as I have a conversation with you, I have a conversation with my inner child. I have a conversation with fear. I have a conversation with the universe, right?
Yes,
And we just talked
yeah.
about this, right? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the difference between that still small voice that's inside of you, but then that other voice that you have, right? That's the, the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other, right? So talk about that a little bit.
So yeah, I mean, we all have, and that's the safe and protected piece, and then it's just like, that's just where our mind just wants to protect us. And so we have that angel and the devil, and when we have that, then we're really confused. And so what do I do that I'm so confused now? Because I have one side of me saying that this is good and the other side saying this is bad, and I don't know what to do. And for me, that's when that happens, I just have to ground myself. I just close my eyes, ground, like clear my chakras all the way down, just ground, and then detach as much as I can to any kind of outcome and just surrender. I know we're still learning how to do it, but we do
this for a living. So,
yes, exactly. It's not easy, but then just surrender and just let the answers come. And another thing too that I've seen is a lot of people will say, okay, well, I meditated and I didn't get any answers. You might not get the answers in your meditation or in your grounding, in your clearing, but you will get the answers. So just knowing that you're doing that for you and you are grounded and you are cleared, that you will get your answers, maybe not on your time, but you will get them.
I love that so much, because so often we're in the mindset of, I want the knowing. I need to know the knowing. I need to know the knowing. And it's the external validation, not the internal validation. But if you know something in your soul, and I even said this to you right beforehand, I said, it's the craziest thing in the world. Like I work in the quantum fields and I have this inner knowing, but none of it makes sense. And you just stopped and you said, maybe it's not supposed to make sense, right? Maybe just you allow the answers to come. And so that when you do get in your monkey brain is what I call it, right? When it's the looping of, oh my gosh, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm so worried. That's the vibration that you're connected to, right? But when you detach from it and you just say, I really have done everything that I needed to do on my piece. I'm going to surrender, but I have this inner knowing, and that inner knowing and that fire won't go away. It's just burning inside of me, and it doesn't make sense, but it's burning inside you. That's really, truly the intuition. Let's talk about synchronicities, because this really, for me, this is, I really dance with the universe, and so do you. But I ask for the universe for things. I'm like, okay, God, show me the next step. If I can't get all the way to here, show me the next step, right? And the other day, like literally, I walked out of my house, I asked the universe a question, and a song came on the radio, and then a sign was literally on a car, and then like the license plate said the exact same thing that the sign said. So let's talk about synchronicities, and when you're in the vibration of manifestation, and how your brain, it's overriding your brain basically, because you could still have the fear, but the universe is still coming through and saying, no, you're on the right path. Oh my goodness.
Synchronicity. So what is the universe trying to tell you right now?
Well, apparently that's a love song. So apparently it's something with love. But see, that was very synchronistic. And it was literally hilarious that we were talking about synchronicities, because it was I asked the question about love, and my song on my ringtone is It's Your Love. And so that's how the universe was just confirming what I was saying. Yes. That's pretty cool. I love that. So maybe AIM, tell us like the manifestation process, and how those things are actually manifestations of the vibration that are coming in.
I love that your phone just went off. Like that was the perfect example of synchronicity right there. And that's like another example. Like people say, oh, you're thinking about someone, and then they call you or they message you on social media or something, and you're already like, oh, that's interesting. I was just thinking about you, and then you called. And then the other piece too, that's really important, is to be curious. Because a lot of times if we think like, okay, I want this to happen on this timeline, and if you're trying to take control and not surrendering and being curious, then you might not get it the way that you want. But as long as you're going into it being curious, it's like, oh, I wonder I wonder what today will bring. I know that I'm putting it out there that I'm going to have a great day. I wonder what that's going to look like. I wonder where I'm going to go. I wonder who I'm going to run into, who I'm going to talk to, what conversation I'm going to have, what things are going to be on sale that I wasn't expecting, just different things like that. And so curiosity and then just surrendering, like, yeah, you can definitely put your intention out there and say, this is what I want. But then it's surrender. Okay, let's see how it's going to show up. And am I going to be pivoting? And am I going to be going all these different ways? I'm going to go straight. It's just being that in a curious place.
I love that so much. And curiosity is such a play and fun energy, right? And so when it's so intense, guys, that's your sign to lean back. When it and I really do. I mean, I feel my way through life, and so do you. But if it doesn't feel good, I'm like, you know this, right? I'm like, no, I'm gonna put you on pause, right? Because if it doesn't feel good, I can't be in the energy of it because I can't see clearly if I'm in anger, if I'm in hurt, if I'm in sadness, if my brain and my ego is saying, no, this doesn't feel good. That's when I have to lean back the most, right? And the synchronicities happen the most when I lean back, I think. How about you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If you're leaning forward and you're trying to push through, it's like then you get roadblock, and you feel even worse. But the more that you lean back, the more that I lean back, like, okay, you know what? I don't have all the answers. I don't know why this is happening, but I'm just going to lean back and surrender and just trust.
Trust. So let's talk about that. That's such a big word, and how getting through your mind into the consciousness level, that is such a key component, moving into consciousness and moving into a higher level of consciousness and having spiritual maturity. Trust is such a big word, right?
Oh gosh, yeah. And it's a hard one to learn because it's like we as humans, we like control. Weird, huh?
As she looks at me.
Well, I do too. We both know that we like control. We're like, we have to surrender.
It's true.
But that's what trust is it's like letting someone else or something else or the universe or source or whatever to know that you're safe, that you're in good hands, and that you can trust it and you don't have to control it all the way. And it's a hard thing to do because we like to control, it's like I'm planning my wedding right now. And I was like, I don't need a wedding planner. I got this. And I'm starting to do it. And I'm realizing, oh my God, that's the last thing I want to do is try and control everything on my wedding day. I just want someone to just take over and do it. And so I finally bit the bullet. I'm like, I'm hiring a wedding planner. Yeah. And now I feel so much better knowing that I've relinquished this control. And now all my control is in this woman to make sure my day goes as planned. And I also have to surrender. And it's like, if things happen, you know what? It's perfect how it is. And I just get to relinquish that control.
That's really actually really big for you because I mean it really is, and it's not that you're a control freak, but that's your wedding day, right? And so it's super important. And so the more important it is to you, the more that your ego is going to think that you have to control it, right? Because that is it's if it's not important, you don't really care about a parking spot next to if you have to walk 2 extra spaces, but your wedding day is a big deal. And so when you understand that your mind is going to control it more, the more you care about it, the more important it is, the more your mind's going to want to have control over what's going on, right?
Exactly. Yep. So that's why if you can just have that trust, let go of control, and just surrender. Those are like the 3 biggest things that I've learned on my spiritual journey is how to trust and how to be curious and how to surrender.
I love the trust, surrender, and what was the
curiosity?
My favorite. And so those 3 things, trust, curiosity, and surrendering, are such big components of consciousness. And so let's talk about consciousness in general, how consciousness is all that is, right? And so there are so many times where, and even just today, where I said, I can't figure this out, because it's bigger than me, right? There's something, and it had to do with my purpose. It had to do with my destiny. It had to do with the next stage of my life. And at times you're not supposed to know, and you're being protected, right? That's a big thing that I had to learn, was that if you don't know yet, the answer hasn't presented itself. 1, because you're not in alignment with it, but 2, it's because you're not supposed to know, and you may be being protected without even knowing it. Like that, you miss that light and you're late, or you can't make an appointment or something like that. You don't know what's at the other end of it. You can't see all of consciousness. You can just see what's going on with you. And so your outer world is always projecting your inner world. And so let's talk about that, because that's really big moving into consciousness, is that if I wasn't so in alignment where we were just literally talking about, the love for me, and then I was talking about synchronicities that happen, and I could have gotten super upset with my phone ringing in the middle of the show, which it never does. I always turn my phone off, but it was just signs. It was signs that the universe was talking to me all day. And when you're listening, that's when you're receptive. So let's talk about being contracted and being expanded and being in the receptive mode, because that's really important to understand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly like what you were saying. Is I remember at one point I was at a light and the light turned green, and something told me like, don't go yet. And then here comes someone running a red light. And so that was like, I was expansive. I was like, I want to go. It's green, because I can be a very aggressive driver. Like, it's green and I want to go. Like, that's just how I am. And something told me hold back. And that's exactly why. And that's from being even though I wanted to go, like the controlling part of me wanted to go, but that was the note, being expansive. And contractive is where, you're like, I'm going to go anyway. So going on with the whole driving thing, there was my very first accident that I got into. It was the light was green and I saw this car starting to turn into the light as I passed them. But I was like, no, there's no way. Like, the light's green. I have the right of way. I'm going to go anyways. And then they ended up like scooting all the way into my lane and got into a car accident. Wow. And that's because I was contracted, because I wanted to control. And I was like, it's my right of way. And then that ended up happening. So those are like a good example of contraction and expansion with driving, because that happens all the time.
I think it happens in everything with life, right? Just little things where it's like, and truly your emotions are they are your beacon. And that's what I teach all the time, right? Oh my God, I'm angry in this moment. Why are you angry? Because you're feeling contracted in that moment, right? And you could go deep into the divine masculine, divine feminine with being contracted in every moment of your life, right? Or is it just, just sometimes you just need to relax and lean back a little bit. But every area of your life, if you're angry, if you're frustrated, if you're in fear, if you're in anger, anything like that, any negative emotion is contraction, right? Yeah. So let's talk about aha moments, because this is really, we're gonna do some really cool things with the black oxygen in the next segment. We're gonna take a commercial, but before we take a commercial, I want to talk about like aha moments and what that looks like, because I want to tell a story after commercial about this amazing thing that happened right after I took the black oxygen. So the aha moments that are like you're so confused, and then all of a sudden it's like pop of clarity. What is that?
Yeah, like that light bulb that you get on. You're just like, it's almost like you're contracted, you're trying to figure it out. And then whether you know it or not, you're surrendering. And then it's like that light bulb comes on. It's like, oh, okay, I finally have my direction, understand what's coming, or someone can show up and say the right words of what you've been looking for. Or you never know. It's synchronicity, it's aha moments. They all kind of go together as long as you are in that expansive, curious place.
So beautiful. And so thank you guys so much for being here on the Soul on Fire show. We are going to take a quick break. Today's show is sponsored by my company, Noelle Agape Global. And we are going to take a quick break. And then we're going to teach you about black oxygen. And this is a detox that Amy and I just started. And Amy, you've been doing it for a while, right? But
3 weeks, not that long, but 3 weeks.
Good. Yeah. And we're going to talk about the effects of it and the mental clarity and the brain fog that was lifted and everything that is coming through our bodies in this detox. So we will be right back, guys. Hey guys, welcome to the Soul on Fire show. Thank you so much for being here on the live. Thank you for those who are watching on the replay. Today we are talking about consciousness, and we are talking about the different levels of the consciousness of the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. And we are here with my dear friend Amy, and she's in my home, and we are talking about moving through the different levels of consciousness. We talked about trust and surrender and curiosity. Then we talked about aha moments and synchronicities. And the greatest thing in the world, guys, is that when your body is in alignment, your mind is in alignment. And I teach this all the time. One of the most important components of consciousness is getting your vessel, your body in alignment. The best way to do that is to do a detox, right? So Amy and I are doing this amazing detox. I've never done it before, and I feel incredible. I feel like both of us are glowing, right?
Yeah,
like we really feel, and we're excited. But the best thing that has happened from this is that aha moments. I had felt like last week I was like brain fog and I was cloudy. So when you clear your body, Aim, talk about what happens with your body, and then what happens with your mind, and then what happens with the level of consciousness with all three of those, because both you and I work in the health and wellness aspect of it, and you have to start with the body. You have to start with the body. And why does your body being clean make your mind being clean, and then you literally your energy fields and moving into the level of consciousness?
Well, yeah, because whatever you're eating, whatever you're putting into your body, that's going to resonate out. That's going to, if you're not eating that healthy, then it's going to create the brain fog. It's going to create different, the synapses in your brain aren't going to be firing like they normally would if you were eating healthy. And then you're not going to be as able to be as spiritually tapped in as well, because it's your body is doing extra work to get all these toxins out of you, instead of having just a clean eating, feeling really good body. So then you can have your mind feeling really good, not having that brain fog, and then your spirituality just easily tapping in with your decalcifying your pineal gland too, having more vivid dreams, having more premonitions, more things that are pushing you forward. Your intuition is stronger. It just all goes together.
I love that so much. And for me, that's my favorite part of Dancing with the Universe is I truly feel like I believe I'm way happier in dream world, in the quantum world than I am in reality, right? But let's talk about our conversation that we had last week before we began this. Well, you've been on it for like 3 weeks. Yeah. And then those of you that know me, you know that I'm a quantum energy trainer and I tap into energy. Amy does too, right? And so we are having this amazing conversation, which is one of many that we always have about consciousness, right? And so, Aim, tell us the story of what like you were saying, I'm doing this black oxygen thing, and I want you to know about it. Tell me about what the energy feels like, and we'll go from there.
Exactly. Yeah. So Noelle's so great at just tapping into energy. She doesn't even have to hold it in her hand. She can just tap into the company, into the energy, into all of that. And so it was like, gosh, I have to tell you all about this black oxygen. So this is the package, if you can see it. And I was just like, I think this is the answer to what people have been needing. And it's interesting because it is a detox, but you don't have to just only drink this. A lot of times with detox, you're completely clearing out your body and not taking anything. This you can drink while you're eating. And so I was telling her about how I have so much more energy. My body is restricting carbs and sugar more than ever, which is huge for me. And then I was telling her that, this is giving you the nutrients that we're supposed to get from our soil before it got tainted. And so this comes from a untapped bog in Canada, which is all about the minerals in the soil that we need for our body.
I love that.
And so, yeah. And so I was telling Noelle about that. And I was like, and my dreams have been so vivid. I feel like way stronger connection to spirituality. And I was saying, and it's because my intuition is stronger and vivid. And then Noelle was like, oh my gosh, Amy, you're declassifying your pineal gland. So that's our third eye, right? That's the part that does give us the dreams. That's the part that is giving us that intuition and making sure that we are tapped into what we need. And then Noelle said, oh my gosh, Amy, this is consciousness in a bag. So Noelle tapped into the product, to the company. She said the company feels really good. The creators behind it feel really tapped in. And she said it's consciousness in a bag. And then you said the most brilliant thing, which is this soil, the nutrients that we need is going to bring us to the new earth.
I love that so much. I love that so
I know,
much.
you said it. It was amazing. And I was like, I got the chills when I heard it.
Well, and that's really what the higher level of consciousness is, moving us to the new earth, right? And so that's what we talk about on this channel. We talk about health, wellness, and consciousness, but the consciousness aspect of it is all moving us forward. We're all here for expansion. And guys, you know that I'm a health and wellness counselor. You know I do not promote products unless they are amazing and incredible. You know that what I put in my body is the most important things, right? I'm so clean with 80, 20% of the time I'm having a little wine,
Of course,
right?
yeah,
But
you're human.
So the thing about this, and I need to tell you, is that I've only been on it for 3 days, and I've been taking it for 3 days. And again, this is not a promotion or anything like that. This is truly just a detox that I am recommending because as a health counselor, it is incredible and I feel incredible. My skin is glowing. Like I have literally barely any makeup on at all. Normally I have like foundation. I have no foundation on at all. I so energized. My dreams have been so vivid. But one thing I wanted to tell you is I had so much brain fog and I have so much clarity. Like I have a lot going on with my business and in my personal life, I have to move and all this stuff. And so I didn't really have clarity. So I literally made a glass this morning, and this was, my before breakfast. I made this glass of black oxygen. I went outside and I was drinking it, and literally within like seconds, I got a download. As soon as I was finished with the black oxygen, I got a download, and I just told Amy, I'm like, Amy, that's it. Oh my God. And I like had the answers to everything that I actually had a conversation with you like last week about, right? And it was so crazy that it was instantaneous right after I had that. And so maybe talk about your experiences on it. It truly is. I mean, it's folic acid. It is antioxidants. It's vitamins. It is incredible for you. There's not a bad thing in this that is bad for your body.
No, yeah. It's just everything. It's all the minerals that we need that our body truly wants. And that's what it does. Is so it all, because it is a detox, it pulls out the heavy metals, it pulls out the toxins. And so you can release it. So you might be having some detox symptoms. I did. I had some headaches, had some irritability, but I knew it was because I was drinking this and I was detoxing. But the good thing is yeah, the brain fog has completely cleared. I've constantly been looking to have more energy. It was, what can I take that's going to give me more energy? Because, I'm still young and I'm like, what is going on? Why am I just tired and want to sit on the couch all day? And I've taken fulvic acid before and I didn't notice a difference at all. So when I heard about this, I was like, okay, whatever. I heard people were really having great testimonials with it. So yeah, what can it hurt? I might as well try it. I've tried so many other things. And the day that I took it, I only took 1/8 of a teaspoon in water. The day I took it, I had so much energy, like going into it. And then it was, and I'm a huge chocolate-aholic. I don't know. Yeah, it's good. And I was like, do I want chocolate? No. What? No. Wait a minute. Because anytime I asked, do I want chocolate? I want chocolate. And the fact that I didn't want it and then I resisted it, I was like, there's got to be something to this. And so for me, the energy has been amazing. There's people that have had inflammation where it's gone within like 3 days.
Completely my body. Like I was inflamed before I took it. 3 days. I have no inflammation at all. Like literally. I did have, so let's talk about the detox symptoms, because most people that haven't gone through a detox, we teach health and wellness. So let's talk about the whole process, right? It's usually 3 to 5 to 7 day process, depending upon what you do. Start at the beginning of the detox so people have an idea of what they're going to go through, because, detoxing, you're detoxing from the metals in your body, the chemicals in your body that's stored. And when you detox your body, you detox your mind and you detox your energy fields as well, right?
Yeah. And that's the thing is, it's like, you definitely want to go in intention, knowing that you are detoxing, knowing that you can have symptoms from it. Because as Noelle was saying, if you're getting the toxins out, if you're getting the heavy metals out, it's still got to go through your body. So it pulls it out and it goes through. And so that's when you can have that irritability. That's when you can have the headaches. That's when you can have those detox symptoms.
Which is actually good because it's telling you that that's what was in your body and it's coming out of your body, right? And so allow it to go. Drink a ton of water, right? That's super, super important to drink a ton of water. And so what is there a specific protocol to do it? It's also a parasite cleanse, right? I mean, So talk about that.
So that's interesting because the more that I've been doing research, the more that I've seen how parasites, people think like they're a thing of the past and we don't have them. I've been researching is like, no, we all have them just from the toxins, the air, the things we're eating, the meat. I mean, we all get the parasites, and the parasites stay in our body and they feed off the bad food. So if we're actually pushing them out and clean, then we're going to push them out. And yeah, you might see some parasites in your stool, which for me, I think it's cool because I'm just like, yes, I'd rather get it out than in. And it's like, oh, that's why I haven't had energy.
So let's connect it to consciousness now that we've talked about the mind and the body. And so one, we talked about mental clarity and spirituality, but what about energetic parasites too, that other people's energy or dark energy or negative energy that's attached to you? Without question, I feel like so radiant. I feel my energy fields are clear. I work in the energy fields every day. My chakras feel clear. My aura feels like vibrant. Like, let's talk about that and the level of consciousness that truly is in this bag, right?
Right. Exactly. And that's the thing is like a lot of people, especially if you're watching the show, you've got to be an empath. You've got to be able to like feel other people's energy. And that's the thing is we can take it on. And then if we're not feeling good in our body, we can take it on more. But if we actually are detoxing, if we actually are eating clean, then we can cleanse us. So it's not just a physical thing. Yeah, you're cleaning your body, but you're also energetically cleaning your body. And then mind, your brain feels more like it's functioning at the percent that it's supposed to, as opposed to having the brain fog and getting tired and all of that different stuff. And so it definitely feels like with the detox that it's hard to explain. I'm like kind of shocked how quick it works because a lot of times when I've done detox, I felt it more internally and more with my body. But it's just like being so much more tapped in, clearing the brain fog. And for me, the biggest thing is having energy and feeling really good when I wake up. A lot of times when I'd wake up, I just didn't feel good. And now by drinking this, I feel good. And I know that I'm not taking on a lot of energy right now. I know how to clear it.
I love that. And so let's go back into the physical for a moment. And now the brain so well. You and I studied the brain, right? And so let's talk about what oxygenation of the brain means and what that actually, the biochemical things that happen when you have oxygen in the brain.
Oh gosh, yeah. So I mean, it's brain fog is like my favorite thing to say. It clears the brain fog. Your synapses are going. I should do that. Your synapses are firing back and forth. They're like your brain is actually working in the way that it's meant to. You're more on it. I can't think there's another word I was going to use, but you're
alert, right?
You're alert.
Yeah.
You're alert. You're aware. You have clarity. You can go on Jeopardy if you wanted to. Your memory is so much better.
It truly is. Honestly, when you have oxygen in your brain, that's what actually breath work is, right? And so we teach breath work. And so when you're breathing and you're meditating and you're getting yourself to a different level of consciousness, that's what breath work is. It's bringing oxygen up to the brain, guys. That is what this does. This brings oxygen to your brain. So it's literally like doing breath work, it's cleansing your body at the same time as you are energetically. It is so crazy, but it is the same process. You're bringing the oxygen from your gut up to the brain. And so let's talk about a clean gut and what that looks like when you have a clean gut, because we have three brains: your regular brain, which is your monkey brain, then your gut is your second brain, and then your heart center is your third. So Aim, talk about all three of those centers and how when they're clear, it's a connection to spirit and source.
Oh yeah. Well, so especially our gut, that's our second brain. And that really defines how we our body. That's where a lot of the parasites live. And that's where I know. It's not fun to think about, but I mean, that's where we have SIBO and IBS and all of these different acids, stomach acid, all of this different stuff. And if we're not clearing it, if we're not giving ourselves the nutrients that we need, then it's just not going to clear. It's not going to feel better. And so that's, so the gut for me, that's like the biggest thing. Cause I used to have IBS and I cleared it a long time ago, but it can still show up. And this stuff, drinking this stuff, it's like I'll just say it, you're going to be really regular. So if you're someone who can get constipated or, if you're just not regular, it can make you really regular. You feel like your body is working in the way that it's meant to.
I love that. I love that so much. So you guys ready? We're going to have some, I had some this morning. I know you had some this morning as well. And so I've been doing it 3 times a day. Is that what I'm supposed to be doing?
You can. If you want to go hardcore, you can do 3 times a day. I only do 2 times a day.
I'm a little hardcore at kind of everything. You guys know that. So you want to start, and let's hold it up so everyone can actually see. I'll hold the glass and you can see. It's so cool.
This is my favorite part.
You're literally putting oxygen in your brain right now, guys. So watch this. It's so cool.
Probably about 1/8.
So I love it because it's just such a cool thing. Look, I'm going to bring it up to the camera. It's just teeny little bit, an 1/8 of a teaspoon, and it's dissolving in the water. But isn't that so satisfying?
It looks like, for me, it's like brains, like a bunch of different brains just going into the water.
So just, you can spin that, and then if you want to do this one too. So we're going to drink this. Now, how does it taste? Let's talk about the taste because that's super important thank you. Let's see. How cool is that? Like, I love just watching it. I'm like a 2-year-old. Literally, it's so satisfying.
Well, the good thing is if you let it just sit there and dissolve itself, it completely dissolves in the water. There aren't any clumps. If you stir it soon, then there can be clumps.
Oh,
but that's okay. I know. I didn't tell you.
That was my fault. Okay, so you let
it as you just let it dissolve. That's how you know it's organic. That's how it's good for you because it completely just goes into the water, and it looks really gross, right? Like, what are you drinking? Why would you drink this? For me, I don't feel like it has a taste. I have a friend that said it tastes like unsweetened iced tea. Cool. Me, I think I'm just drinking water. I don't know. How does it taste for you?
Well, it tastes a little bit like earthy, I guess is the best way to describe it for me. It tastes earthy, but it's not bad, right? I mean, it's fine. Just add a little bit more water if you taste. That's what I realized. Just add a little bit more water to it. So let's talk about how you feel, because I think that's super important. You've been on it for 3 weeks. And so with the difference in your body, you've definitely lost weight. You look like you're in shape. I mean, so let's talk about that.
Okay, so before I found Black Oxygen, I did Dr. Hyman's 10-day detox diet. And so I released about 3 pounds. Then we had family friends come and visit us, and we went and ate out the whole time and just did not eat clean. And I gained the 3 pounds back right away. And then I found Black Oxygen, and within probably a week and a half of drinking it, eating normally, not eating super clean, not eating at restaurants anymore, but not really trying to detox, not really trying to be hardcore with my diet. Then I started drinking this. Cheers. Cheers. Then I started drinking this, and I weighed myself. I was like, holy crap, I lost those 3 pounds again. And it wasn't even hard. Like the 10-day detox diet was hard. It was a lot of work. And this, I'm just incorporating it 2 times a day. You're doing it 3 times a day. And it's just, you look great. You feel great. It's just it's just amazing. Cause it's really just like, where are ya? It's really, here we go. It's really just fulvic acid, humic acid, 70 trace minerals that we need, prebiotics, probiotics, and electrolytes. That's all it is. And you can feel this good.
So what from a health conscious point of view, what is the people, the layman, what are all those things do for your body? They activate your gut, right? They clear out your gut. What else,
The brain fog, it helps with the brain fog. It's getting you the minerals that you truly need. It's keeping you strong. It's keeping you, I mean, I personally think it helps with like feminine and masculine energy too.
Let's
because
talk
it's
about
like
that.
the nutrients that we need.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel, and so we are going to take a quick commercial break, guys, and where when we come back, we are going to talk about how I feel so balanced, and I feel I'm stronger when I'm working out, 100% stronger. I feel cleaner. I'm eating pretty clean, but I haven't changed my diet very much, and I feel stronger. I feel healthier. I feel more in balance with my divine feminine or my divine masculine. We're going to take a quick break right now, guys, and then we'll be right back, and we're going to talk about how oxygenation in your brain actually works with your consciousness and getting you to a higher level of consciousness, balancing your masculine, feminine energies, and balancing your energies in general. We'll be right back, guys. Hi guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for being on the Soul on Fire show. Thank you for watching this live, and thank you for watching another replay. If you do like everything on this channel, please like, share, and subscribe, as we want to get this information out to as many people as possible. The Soul on Fire show is about health, wellness, and consciousness, and today we are talking about literally going into the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. We're talking about detoxing your mind, detoxing your body, detoxing your energy fields, understanding your intuition, and how oxygen in your brain allows that all to happen. We are drinking black oxygen, which is a beautiful detox, and this is incredible. I feel more balanced. I feel more whole. I feel like my feminine energies are really, really, really powerful and strong right now. Let's talk about the divine feminine and the divine masculine energies and them being in balance and what that looks like in the level of consciousness.
Yeah, like how we were talking about like our intuition. We all have it, but the feminine part of us is that intuitive piece. It's the receiving end. It's the allowing. It's that surrendering. And then the masculine is more of like the go, the strong, the determined, putting yourself out there. And I feel like, especially drinking this, I feel like, especially that I have so much more energy, I'm able to, okay, this is where I want to put my energy and this is where I want to move forward, more in the masculine. And then the feminine is like, okay, I get to just like enjoy life and sit back and receive and enjoy.
And so maybe go deeper into the masculine energies. So the masculine energies they're the action orientated. They are the motivation. They are they're very much the go mode, right? This allowed, at the last 3 days, I have felt like I have had, literally, I'm not even kidding you, I've had 150 things to do on my list, and I've just been like allowing myself to go through it. But the greatest thing in the world is the creative, is the feminine energy, right? And so the feminine energy is the receiving and creating and visualizing. And so obviously I'm a creative, right? And so I have so many things that I have to create, but then I have to do. There hasn't been a moment. Normally I'm like, I have to be in the feminine energy and I have to create, and then I have to be in the masculine energy and I have to do. But I've been able to simultaneously do those together since I've been drinking this. It's crazy.
Yeah, it just feels kind of, you don't even have to tell yourself, okay, I need to do this now, I need to do that. It just feels like it flows, like it's seamless.
So let's talk about flow and what that looks like for, it's very different for everybody, but we have about 10 more minutes, maybe giving some key takeaways from, going through the mind, the body, the soul, and spirit, because you have so much experience. You're such a vast experience. You're a hypnotherapist. You truly change people's lives in one session, right? So giving them takeaways at home that they can do, starting with the body and then going to the mind and then going to the energy fields. And then just something that they have that they can do, that you do with your clients.
Yeah. So, well, obviously for body, I'm going to say drink black oxygen because I've never felt so much better in my life. But yeah, so for body, it's just eat clean, eat. One thing that I've really been learning too, which I think is really fascinating, is we were taught the food pyramid is just so backwards in so many ways. And we were taught, that fat is not good for you. And if you're eating fat, you're going to get fat. And lately I've been looking more into like keto and incorporating more fat, because that's where we get fuller faster. And so we're not just constantly snacking and eating. We're actually, and the fat is what really goes to your brain.
Mhm.
The fat is really what helps.
And it actually burns fat. The more healthy fats you're eating, avocados, coconut oil, Kerrygold butter is good for olive oil, olives. Those are good. Avocados, just avocado. Those, which are my favorite.
I know.
And if you are eating carbs, because I'm not a big fan of the low carb diets, but if you are eating carbs, it metabolizes the carbs in your body, right? So that's huge. The body is really truly your vessel. You have to take care of your vessel. Start there. How about the mind? So when you have the monkey mind and when your brain is just going, what is the next level for that?
I would say when you have, it's just like grounding, just ground yourself. Like I said earlier, it's like, if you're feeling like your mind is just spinning and you're not anywhere, it's just, okay, just tell your mind, just calm down, just be quiet right now. I'm just going to ground myself, clear the chakras, just ground yourself back to where it's, so then you're not having this voice and all these different things. You're really grounded into your inner self and your higher purpose that is going to be guiding you what the next step is.
So what are some steps for people that don't know how to ground themselves and work with energy?
Oh, okay. So the best way to do it is, like, I would say, actually get on the floor and just get on the floor and just take 3 big breaths, inhales and exhales, and just really just quiet the mind as much as you can. You can never completely quiet it. You're not doing it wrong if your mind isn't shut up. Like, that's just how it is. But really just kind of take your energy and put it like through your body and just feel the breath going into your body and just saying inhale, exhale. If you have a mantra, whatever it is, it's just like, just really just concentrate on your breath. So then your mind, you're not concentrating on what your mind's trying to do. And it's just like concentrating on your breath.
Good. And then the next level is moving into connection to your energy fields and your soul and your spirit, higher self, inner being, whatever you'd like it to call it. So what, obviously meditation, right? I mean, I'm a big fan, both of us are a big fan of meditating. So people that don't know how to meditate, I get all the time, Noelle, how do we meditate? As a hypnotherapist, what are some the easiest things someone can do at home with their mind?
You just start. You just close your eyes, and you can't do it wrong. That's the best thing that I like telling clients is, no matter what, you can't do this wrong. As long as you close your eyes and you're just concentrating on your breath, even if your mind is going, even if you feel you're not meditating, you're not there, you can't do it wrong as long as you are just concentrating. And so that, like, meditation is the best for me, and just quieting. And first learned how to do it, my mind was going all over the place and I was just uncomfortable. And I'm like, I want to open my eyes. This isn't fun. But I kept myself doing it. And now it's the most amazing place ever. And sometimes I don't want to come out of it.
My most fun thing.
Yeah, exactly. So you'll get there, because that's where we both started too.
Meditation truly changed my life. And those that know me, for many years, my entire life, I grew up with anxiety. And by the way, guys, this will help anxiety as well. You know, it will, absolutely. We are not physicians, but we are licensed counselors, so we can help you with that. I had anxiety my entire life, got a divorce. My mom got cancer. I actually went on medication. And from the moment I went on medication, I actually got in the hospital from that medication. And I remember, because I took 2 pills instead of 1 in one day, and I didn't realize that I took 2 pills. And I remember waking up in the hospital and I was like, I am never taking medication again. And that's when I began my spiritual journey and I started meditating, I started eating clean, I started drinking things like black oxygen and putting it into my body. And so this truly will allow you to get into a different state of being too, right? Drinking this, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. Good. And so what about your soul's purpose is, so many people are like, how do you, that's the final step, is living from your soul. And we live from our soul, right? We truly do. And we embrace life. And we have this playful, curious. And then we're so deep into the damn quantum. And then we're like, no, we're going to go play. Right? It's so crazy. So truly just living from your soul. What does that look like?
For me, I would say it's just like what we were talking about earlier with, like, the signs and synchronicity and being curious of what's going to show up. And, you don't have to have all the answers. You can just surrender and let the world guide you, let your higher guidance guide you. And, you know, the thing is we all have a purpose in this world, and it doesn't necessarily have to be something that's going to make you a lot of money. A lot of times people's jobs aren't even their purpose. It could be the fact that you're here to be a mom or a dad or a grandma or a grandpa. It could be a fact of even at your job,
Service,
maybe
right?
service, exactly. Or at your job, you don't really like it, but your purpose is helping the greater good for whatever it is that you're doing. There's just many different things. And so instead of thinking like, oh, I have to only be in service, or I only have to be doing this to be in my soul's purpose, no, your purpose could be the fact that you are a parent. Could be a fact that you're a daughter, you're a son, you know,
Which is a pretty damn important role, I think.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's a really important role.
Right. And so just what lights you up, what sets your soul on fire is what I say all the time, right? Like it could be petting your dog. I mean, meditation could be petting your dog, or it could going for a run. It could be just whatever it is to connect you back to your mind and body. I say this all the time, nothing externally is going on that is not going internally. So if there's something in your external world that is making you, pulling you away from your soul's purpose, pulling you away from being in alignment, go within, right? That's the best way. So Aim, I know you changed so many lives, and I am so grateful for you in my life. I mean, seriously, I teach the quantum, and she's one of 2 people in this entire world that can tap into my energy and understand me, and truly like that. We have clarity, right? So where can people find you? What are you working on right now? And how can, I know you're helping so many people, but you take private clients, you're doing, you know, the detoxes with them and everything with them. So what are you doing?
Yeah. So I still do one-on-one clients. They're 2-hour intense hypnotherapy sessions. You tell me what your main issue is, and then we go into your past and we go find out different things that have brought you to where you're at today. So we find the root cause, and then I teach you how to clear it and how to actually talk to that part of you. Because again, it's like a lot of times these root causes are here because they're teaching us a lesson. They're here to protect us in some way. And so let them know, like, I'm not 8 years old anymore. I don't need that protection. I can let you go. And so I help the clients learn that they can let go of this part of them that's been holding them back. And then I have them tap into their highest self, their highest guidance of exactly what they need to hear and know about themselves. And so after that, then I make them a recording that they listen to every single day for 30 days. So it's the 2-hour session is just getting the aha, like we talked about earlier, that intense session where you just completely clear it out. And then the recording is where you're getting it at the forefront of your mind, where that's just constantly moving you forward. And you can find me at nobstherapy.com.
And I'll link that below for sure. Guys, she will, I promise you, change your life. And again, she truly is. I mean, we're like 5 years on this journey, and she's literally one of 2 people that can instantly make me have clarity. And you're such a gift to this world. So thank you for changing humanity.
And you too. Oh my gosh. I've worked with Noelle so many times, and you're the one that gets me, and you're just like, Amy, it's this. Oh my gosh, you're right.
Those aha moments, right?
Yes.
So it is truly about community, and it is about, you know, service for sure. One last takeaway, because we have about 2 minutes left. One last takeaway for our viewers.
You know, every time I do a show with you, every time I do a show with anyone, it's always my biggest takeaway is curiosity. As long as you can go into the world being curious, and instead of like, this has to happen like this, because then your energy is contracted because you are putting your wants and needs before maybe the greatest good. And so if you can just, okay, what's the highest and greatest good for me? And I'm going to be curious as to how it shows up. And going through the world and just be like, I wonder what's going to happen today. I wonder how life's going to be. I wonder who's going to show up. I wonder what conversations I'm going to have. And just being in that wonderment and that curiosity is what's really going to help you surrender and trust and all those talked about earlier.
I love that so much. And I just love you, Amy. Thanks for being here. And I'm excited to go on this journey even further with you. Guys, those of you that don't know, Amy is one of my practitioners at Noelle Agape Global. And at Noelle Agape Global, our entire mission is for you to live your mind, body, soul, and spirit. So we have practitioners that will change your life and get you to the greatest version of yourself. If you like any of this information, please like, share, and subscribe. Again, we thank you so much because we would not be here without you guys. So we appreciate you and we honor you and we love you, and you are more powerful than you will ever know. Connect with your body. Your body knows. It is intuitive. Connect with your mind. Your mind is not in control of you. Your mind is a computer and your body is a machine. You absolutely have control over both. And connect with your spirit, because that is your soul. And when you understand that your mind and your body and your soul go hand in hand, it is the most empowering thing that you can do. The world needs you more than ever. You are more powerful than you will ever know. And I promise you guys, I promise you, when you say yes to the universe and when you say yes to yourself and you make the commitment to yourself on a daily basis to be better every day, just make one choice that's better every day, whether it's black oxygen or working with the body, working with the mind, working with your energy fields, or working with your emotions. Make a choice once every day for 30 days. And I promise you, it'll change your life, because the next 30 days, you're going to make another choice. And the next 30 days after that, you are more powerful than you will ever know. And I love you guys so much. Thank you, Aim, for being here. And I love you guys, and we will see you.